For years, Mizuno has been known for making some of the finest muscle-back blades and better player irons in the game of golf. But the company also makes a full array of other clubs too, including wedges. And this is the new Mizuno T24 Wedge. And if you're a golfer who's looking for more spin and a lot more versatility around the greens, you're definitely going to want to check out this video. Now, first things first, the Mizuno T24 wedges are forged in a very similar fashion to the way that Mizuno forges its irons. That means it's grain flow forged. And in this case, the company is using mild carbon steel. Now, that's a very, very soft material. So at the moment of impact, you're going to be able to tell exactly where in the hitting area the ball is making contact. Now, that steel has been infused with boron. And boron makes the material harder, which is a good thing in wedges because it's going to help to increase the durability of the grooves so you get that sharp groove for a longer period of time. But the trick is the boron doesn't make the mild carbon steel feel any harder. So you're going to keep getting that soft feel, but with increased durability in the grooves. Mizuno was one of the first companies out there to have grooves in its wedges that change based on each club's loft. The pitching wedges and the gap wedges, with lofts between say 46 degrees up to about 52 degrees, have narrow grooves that are going to be somewhat deeper and they're going to be packed more tightly together. The reason for that is that you're going to be using those clubs almost exclusively on full swing shots from the fairway. So it's basically making a wedge that's a good extension of your irons. So you want to have iron style grooves in those wedges. Now, because Mizuno has adjusted the way that it physically manufactures those grooves, they're able to pack more grooves numerically onto the faces of the pitching wedges and the gap wedges in the T24 family. But when you transition then into the sand wedges and the lob wedges, 54 degrees up to 60 degrees, they're going to be numerically fewer grooves. However, they're going to be wider and they're going to be shallower because you're going to be using 54-degree wedges up to, say, a 60-degree lob wedge, much more around the green. So your real concern there is getting water and debris off of the face and not get it between the golf ball and the grooves themselves, the hitting area. Now, it may be somewhat counterintuitive, but according to Mizuno, when you spread out the grooves a little bit more on the sand wedges and the lob wedges, which are going to be swung with a little bit lower club head speed, the grooves themselves can do a better job of grabbing onto the cover of the golf ball and creating more spin. And that means around the greens, you're going to get more control. Now, from a looks perspective, this might be the cleanest wedge that Mizuno has released in quite some time. And Mizuno is really trying to lean into what makes it very popular in the iron market. So the company has made the top line a little bit thinner. It's shortened up the blade length, all those things that players look for in better player irons. They're going to find it in these wedges. But at the same time, a little bit of extra mass has been positioned right back here in the high toe area. That's going to help to elevate the center of gravity so that you're going to put the center of gravity a little bit more in line with the golf ball. And it's going to help to create that driving, piercing flight that a lot of golfers are going to really like when they get into their wedges. At the same time, though, because they've rolled this top line a little bit, you're not going to see that extra mass when you're in the address position. You're going to see that very, very thin top line. Again, something that a lot of players really look for in a wedge. And from a finish standpoint, there are going to be three different finishes. There's a raw steel finish, there is a white chrome finish, as well as a denim copper finish. And all of those finishes are going to be available throughout all of the sets. And again, these wedges are going to be available from 46 degrees with a traditional pitching wedge all the way up to 60 degrees in a lob wedge, even increments, of course. As far as the components go, the Mizuno T24 wedges are going to come standard with a True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue S400 shaft. This is very, very popular on the PGA Tour and among better players, as well as a Golf Pride MMC grip. One of the biggest new features that Mizuno is excited about in the T24 family of wedges is the number of sole grinds that are going to be available to consumers. In fact, there are going to be 5 of them. They range from a very straight sole in the S to a C grind to a D to an X for players who are going to be looking for more help out of bunkers, all the way down to this new V grind. Now, the V grind, you'll notice, has a seam that's going to be running from heel to toe right through the middle of the sole. And that creates a little bit of forward bounce so that players, when they play this from a square position, should be able to get the benefit of that bounce. However, when you take a V grind and you open up the face, you'll get the benefit of having a significant amount of heel and toe relief. So it should be easier to slide the leading edge underneath the golf ball from tighter lies or in especially firm sand. Look, there are a lot of really well-made wedges that are out in the market, and new ones are coming out all the time. If you're an accomplished golfer, if you're somebody who's liked Mizuno irons in the past, I think you're really going to enjoy the Mizuno T24 wedges. If you're somebody who's never played a Mizuno wedge, I think you might be mildly surprised if you go through a fitting process, because there are so many loft options. Again, all even lofts from 46 all the way up to 60, and with 5 different sole configurations, getting a set into your bag that will complement your swing and also complement the way that you attack golf courses based on your swing as well as the course conditions, whether they're firm or fluffy, soft conditions, all that kind of stuff. Mizuno now has a full line of sole grind configurations that you can take into account. So going and working with a proper custom fitter should allow you to get the right combination of wedges into your bag. Look, I hope you enjoyed this video and got a lot of good, useful information out of it. If you have a question, please feel free to drop it in the comment area below. I try and do a good job at answering those questions and those comments pretty much on a daily basis. It would also be really, really helpful if you subscribe to this channel, as well as hit the bell button so you can get notifications when I've got new material and new content coming out. It's happening all the time. We've got a lot of releases coming out this fall. So thanks a lot for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.